and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Jody Bear. Obviously, I'm not in my studio today, but I wanted to come to you to just give you this message from Ann Arbor. There is hope. My goodness gracious, life's milkshake moment. What do I always say? Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely, and when you do, life will be oh so sweet. Many of you know it hasn't been the sweetest 2024. Who knew what would be in store for me in 2024, but we are thriving now. We're thriving. We are really alive in 2025. I believe with all my heart and soul, as they say down south, and gizzard, and every other body part. What happens to you, as Les Brown says, happens for you. We are embarking. Why am I in Ann Arbor? Because my oldest son gave me a treat, an early birthday treat, and it was to see my St. Olaf choir. It is the sesquicentennial of my St. Olaf College, and this year is the 100th anniversary of the original tour that they took. Now, this first time when they were 1925, they didn't go to Vienna like we did, to London, to Frankfurt, to Munich, to sing at the Stadt Opera House, Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall. We even stayed at the Watergate Hotel, when we sang at the Kennedy Center in 1976. But I will truthfully say that this tour was epic. They got on a train and they gave the beautiful music, the beautiful, pure classical music. And what happens in those moments when time meets destiny was one of these. When my son was 21, I surprised him. Remember Ticketmaster? Remember those times that you had to sleep on the sidewalk to get the tickets? Well, I was in the NCAAs. I was way deep into it being a swim mom at that point. It was my son's 21st year, and Paul McCartney and Wings were going to be at the Omni in Atlanta. I'd been doing the swim mom thing forever and ever up in Athens, but I got in line because I just said yes. I got in line and did the mom thing, laid on a sleeping bag on the pillow. I said, I am going to be the 10th person in line. Well, guess what? I was number 10. Guess what? I got those tickets and surprised my son. And he said to me, you don't ever have to do another birthday gift for me, Mom. Of course I have. But he said, what you gave me in going ahead and being a part of this tour with Paul McCartney and the Wings, it was the best gift ever. Well, I'm getting the best gift ever because my son, living in Ann Arbor, doing the million things that he does with the kids, saw that there was a sign, this huge Lutheran church in Ann Arbor. Guess who's going to be singing there Sunday? Is the St. Olaf, my St. Olaf choir. If you are anywhere close to Ann Arbor, it may be sold out. Get tickets. Dr. Anton Armstrong, I'm going to see you. I will be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest fan, singing those beautiful songs of the purest and most classical a cappella tradition. Beautiful Savior and everything. It was great singing at the Sistine Chapel. It was great singing for Pope Paul, but being able to experience it again. Drink in those times, drink in those moments. You never know when they will come again. Maybe not ever. This is one of these moments. So drink in that life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh so sweet. I want to do this next iteration with none other than, it just seems fitting, Les Brown himself. Why Les Brown? Because Les Brown said, you've got to be hungry when time meets destiny. Who knew? When you see that woman that's sitting there with Marlo Thomas's arms up there at Times Square, who knew that 5 years later, I would be an international best-selling author and publisher of 2 highly acclaimed books and a 75-time best-selling author. Well, I am. When I said yes to Les Brown being in this book, who knew when I would be standing in Times Square? Who knew this little girl from Montana who came to Atlanta and made Georgia her home? And then when she retired, her husband, Bob Bear, said, but oh, sugar, there's so much more in store. There's so much more in store for you as we finish up this last, thinking about our 2024 goals, our first of the last month of now 2025. Guess what we've got here? We've got an amazing, epic moment. What is our moment? Our moment is here now. Because now, who knew this little girl who said there was more in store for her to unretire, do these 2 books? 25 of our authors will be in New York Times Square with Jody on the NASDAQ board in Times Square with the incomparable Christina and Tony Doty, because you can't go it alone. And we didn't. That's what we'll be doing Mondays. So take a look, take a listen. Boy, thank you, Les Brown, for making me understand you gotta be hungry.
We make decisions, and our decisions make us. You have something special. You've got greatness in you. When I look at this picture with my brother and I, born in an abandoned building on a floor in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, and I was labeled educable mental retarded. They called me DT, the dumb twin. No one could have told me, by investing in myself and learning how to communicate, how to present myself, how to speak to one-on-one or small groups or large audiences, that it would dramatically change my life. I'm 77 now, and I'm looking for people who are serious about becoming successful, about becoming a category king, on how to tell their story about themselves or about their business, or how to monetize their dreams and make a difference on the planet. If that's you, I want you to reach out to me. I'm going to teach you how to tell your story, how to use quotes, how to use humor, how to make people laugh and feel good and cry in their tears. Oh, let me tell you something up in here. People say we have the best training program on the planet and train more successful people than anybody on the planet. And you can be the next one. This is your time. This is your moment to turn adversity to your advantage. But you gotta be hungry. You have something special. You got greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye for now.
I'm so grateful that I said, I am the one. I said the one. And you know who else said the one? That they're going to be on that Times Square leaderboard with us. I'm reading the names because I don't want to forget. Because I want to remember these were the ones that were hungry to be a part of our collective Health-A-Pedia tribe. Karen Rudolph, Dr. Annette Watson-Johnson, Dr. Nefertina Serrano, Dr. Needy Solomon, Betty Norland, Renee Brown, Anne Boro Lawrence, my sister from a different muster for sure. We've known each other for so many years. Sue Kostick, Dr. Tyra Good, Cynthia Hamill Knight, coming from Colorado, man, but coming. Jennifer and Jamie Kerr, the millennial couple from Glasgow, Scotland, now in London, England. My partner, my co-founder of Health-A-Pedia, Dr. James Marinakis, Dr. Kalila Camacho Ali, Princess Maradi and Ogallana will be there. My big bear will be up on the leaderboard posthumously because of his award from the UN. Princess Maradian, for sure. Eric Zender, Vinny Pacifico. I just can't believe this crew that I am with. thinking about what we have done, because you don't go alone. You just say yes. So what are we doing here? Well, I just want to give a big, big shout out to the people that are joining us for the gala. Shall we? Let's take a look, take a listen. The United Nations Gala, what are we doing here? These are the ambassadors for, and as I say, of peace, that I will name in just a moment. I'm so honored to be the keynote speaker for this event. I guess, Les, you taught me that you got to be hungry, and my nose just itches when I think about this. Absolutely. Dr. Nefersina Serrano, my sister from a different mister, for real, what you have done and been in my life already, and her husband, Dr. Richard Serrano. Now, we see the ambassadors for peace, these Dr. Tanya Jones, Halamatu Hamidi Hanamanu, Dr. Tanya Jones, I don't know, there we go. And then we got that big bear posthumously, my big bear. I'm honored to be keynote speaker. Join our humanitarian movement. Why? Because it is something to be admired. And so I just decided that let's bring a little bit, as we will have some Grammy Award music. We will have the Jabari Warriors there. If you haven't gotten your ticket, there may be one for you. Just make sure that you are a part of this event. Why? Because word has it that Tiffany Haddish just may be there as well. There are selective tickets left. I'm going to put this banner up. You can go scan this QR code. You can also go to Princess's, her website, AWHPI. AWHPI stands for African Women's Health Project Initiative. Our gala is the 4th. We're doing Times Square on the 3rd. If you know, come by and see us about noon. We're going to be cute. We're going to be there. And then awhpi.org. Ambassadors for Peace. The gala starts, doors open at 5, and it is 6. So let's take a look, take a feel, take a listen to the woman behind the mission, the one and only, the incomparable. As I say, there's only one princess in my life, but at least every woman should have a princess, but everyone should have a princess that's a servant heart leader, like Princess Maradian Okalana. Take a look, take a feel, take a listen. Her Royal Highness Princess Dr. Moradun Ogalana. Wow, we were going, there is hope, and then we move. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because as my introduction, my music with Alicia Williamson 30 years ago, we sang, there is hope. There is hope, ladies and gentlemen. There is hope. Healing. Go down, go up in opportunity, come in positivity, and out in empowerment. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart, Princess Muradian Oglana, for entrusting me to be keynote with the UN. I want to thank her for believing in me with her AWHPI, African Women's Health Initiative, Africa 259 Project, Clean Water, Clean Air. Doesn't that just give and exude hope? It does, doesn't it? The dignitaries that will be there with us, our HAP tribe, our Health-A-Pedia tribe, who knew that we would have 25 of us, a third of our authorship at the UN, a year and 4 months later. And of course, Dr. James Marinakis, world-renowned teacher, trainer, one-of-a-kind mentor, but the co-founder of Health-A-Pedia. Like Princess Muradian, Dr. Jim, their wisdom, they just exude hope. It's not what they do, but it's just who they are. And how have they become? Because they've said yes to every opportunity. Saying yes. I'm thinking about when I said yes to Dr. Jim after our acclaimed, highly acclaimed book, 16-time international bestseller in 24 hours, with Health-A-Pedia putting the puzzle pieces together of foundational health. We were sitting and having lunch, and he leaned into me and he said, "Jody, would you be my partner?" Well, it took me about 1 second to just say yes. Of course I did. What an honor. I'm sure J.D. Vance felt the same way when Donald Trump said, "Would you be my running mate?" Well, Dr. Jim and I, in our own presidential campaign for health, have been running ever since. In this golden age, we just say yes, just like these lists of ambassadors that are joining us on the 4th. My goodness gracious, they said yes in their particular vision, mission, their disciplines, and their purposes in life. As I read these names, Tara Carissa Hodges in media, Dr. Kimi Fawahimini in mental health, Dr. Mavat Ibrahim Mohammed, manufacturing, Dr. Sukuru Glablahan Oseni, the founder of his foundation, Mr. Sunil Sharma, Rotarian and Medical Supply Company, Dr. Alerjo Hans, WHPI Medical Mission and Advocacy Group, Reverend Regina Turkson, the Manasseh Foundation, Her Royal Excellency, Dr. Sandre Serrano, the Hand Foundation, Apostle Maggie Bellevue, Global Institute, Her Excellency, Dr. Patricia Oliver in Imaging and Image, Her Excellency Grace Bian in Finance, and Halamatu Hamida Moronini, Grace Leadership Fellowship. And then we have Dr. Nefertina Serrano. My. Dr. Nefertina, 911 Global Covenant Ministry. But her husband, too, is an international ambassador. I think he's of peace. She's for peace. But together, they make the most amazing divine duo of any I've ever met on a global stage, just in the trenches for marriage. And then we have the angel number. The angel number 11, Dr. Robert H. Baer in archaeology, PhD in posthumously, of course, an ambassador of peace. I'm thinking about Bob. What did my big bear weave? Well, little Bobby Bear, when he was 8 years old, what did he want? He wanted a gun and holster, just like Ralphie with the Christmas Story. What did that vision turn into a mission? As a young soldier, a Vietnam War decorated officer, 3 historic Purple Hearts and a Silver Star, defending America for peace. What did he weave in his intellect? Well, he became a lover of the classics, Oxford educated and a professor, acclaimed as number 8 in the entire history of the school. Yes, of the entire history of Oxford in archaeology. Then we have from there, what did he do? He became an envoy. with the Department of Defense, Operation Just Cause, peacefully weaving his diplomacy with Noriega and General Somoza in Nicaragua. What did he do with Panama? He protected General Noriega himself. What did he do with the Sandinistas? He weaved so that there was peace with very little gunfighting and gunfire or fighting. What did he do for the Seminole Indian tribe? Just in his everyday living, here he was in Miami Circle. He saw an injustice. He became a whistleblower. What did he blow the whistle on? These developers that were hauling out the bones of Seminole tribesmen that had died centuries before. Bob took his Polaroid camera, turned into the pictures to Miami-Dade County, and they stopped the development right then and there. And what did they stop? They stopped those men and a couple of women. They went bye-bye for a while. Well, it's justice for the righteous cause. What was the righteous cause? Bob was instrumental in creating Miami Circle on the National Historic Register now for everyone to see and to witness the Seminole Indian tribe. And the development went around history. And then most recently, after 9/11, in philanthropy and psychology, my husband went over to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and he became an envoy to reprogramming and re-educating and reculturating 1,500 young Islamic jihadists so that they became contributing members of their religion, their culture, and society. So what do you weave? What do you have in your hands? What I had in my hands was this little girl from small town Montana. I was a health coach. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard this story before. Ever get that thing that just happens out of the blue? Here I am cleaning up dishes with a newborn and a toddler. Ring, ring, ring. Mama, how are you, Mama? I'm not good, Jody. What's wrong, Mama? Well, they say I have cancer. Oh, no, Mama. They say I have 6 weeks to live. After I dropped down to the floor, I said, I must go back and make a difference for my mother, the one that gave me hope when I was paralyzed from the shoulders on down. I must give her back her hope. Who knew when I would go back to little Laurel, Montana, what would I find? I would find in the Laurel, Montana library, blew off the dust off of the shelves. And what happened? I found these ancient protocols from Edgar Casey from way long time. Back in the 1800s, I implemented them for my mom. It gave her nearly 2.5 years of life, well beyond her 6 weeks to live diagnosis. And when she was entering from this world to the next, she looked up at me and said, Jody, give others hope the way you've given it to me. And that's what I've been doing ever since. What kind of hope are you giving, passing forward and giving to other people? Because as Princess Meradian says, collaboration is our new currency. Where do we get our Q? Our Q comes from our Creator, I believe. Those 6 pillars of health: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial, and social. Our Creator said, build a better world. And I humbly said, will you show me how? This world is such a cold, dark place, so complicated now. I am just one, so passionate, yet hopeful, yet there is so much here to do. Then I felt his loving touch and his voice as he reached down to me and said, my dear one, to build a better world, start with 1 and then go to 2. And then you have begun and will continue your life's work to build a better you. As my most quotable saying says, when you take care of you and your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. I think about our second book, our Women's Essence of a Woman book, and how we were able to pass that forward, 1 and then 2, as we sold out of the book on Amazon in 3 hours. 3 hours on launch day. You see, we said we would give back to the hungry children in ravaged Hurricane Helene area in Western North Carolina that are still getting the proceeds of every single book. You can scan that code right up there. It says, scan me. Purchase a book, purchase it for a girlfriend who never gives a book back. And you will be able to say that through this book, we will feed a hungry child for a month. Start with 1 and then go to 2. Princess Maradi, in her epic quote, she ended our book most fittingly in the social pillar. And she said, a woman's grace is just not the whispers of her voice, but the elegant grace that whispers through eternity. What are you whispering through eternity? It's just not the whispers of her soul, but it's that elegant grace. Well, I believe it's when we rise up. We rise up to do what only we were meant to do in mission, vision to fruition. We rise up to rise above our horizontal circumstance. We rise up to thread those beautiful, beautiful threads of hope. My big bear would roll out his Persian rugs, the ones that had gold threads, hand woven every single stitch. And he would look at them on the living room floor and say, these are such a thing of beauty. Who would ever walk on them? When we rise up above, all that we do is seen in beauty. All that we do is in hope. And all that we do will be ambassadors for peace because we are of peace. So we rise up to make a difference. How do we do this? We do this in hope because H stands for heal. Go down into yourself because no one can heal you like you can. You are the CEO of you. Then go up in opportunity to your true north for the perfect spiritual pillar. Then come in positivity and empowerment to be and live the law of attraction. And then go out in empowerment to heal yourself, your community, and the world. So listen to the whispers of your own wisdom, for in those whispers is your elegant grace, your eloquence of life, as Princess Maradian says. And in those whispers, there is life. And in all life, there is hope. I hope you enjoyed my speech. I enjoyed sharing it with you. If you're anywhere close, take a train, take a look, take a listen. Come join us on the Ambassadors for Peace Honors, and join Tiffany Haddish, Princess Maradian, Eric Zender, the Quote Master, many, many other dignitaries, and so much more. But remember, in all you do, there is 6-pillar health, there is 6-pillar life, and there is hope. Share this with a friend. Make this more than just a movement. It has now become a mission to fruition. And let's just, as Tiffany Haddish would say, woman up. Ciao for now.
Woman up, 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 up.